Hello and welcome back to Data Analysis and Visualization. I'm Jivita Christie, and in this video, we are going to see we're going to actually begin data visualization. So with this video, so in the next couple of videos, that's what we are going to do, data visualization. And so this video is about types of visualizations. We are going to see the different kinds of visualizations and practices in visualizations that are there so that you can get familiar with them. And in the upcoming videos, I'm going to introduce to you some core principles of data visualization. So let's begin. First of all, any standard definition of data science will tell you that it's there to help you extract meaning and value from your raw data. And while you're finding and deriving insights from the raw data, and that is the principle of data science, it does not mean that you don't need to know how to communicate that to others. So once you found meaning into your data, once you found meaning in your data, you need to be able to communicate that meaning to other people. And so that is why data visualization comes into picture once you have analyzed your data. So to design your visualizations well, you must know and truly understand your target audience and the core purpose for which you are designing. So these are the two things you need to know: your target audience, because later on you'll come to know that audience also has different types. And we are going to study that as well in detail. And you need to also understand the main types of data graphics that are available to you, because nowadays there are more graphs available to you. Earlier, people used to just create a simple pie chart or a bar chart, but now there are so many others available, other types of graphics available to you that could make your data visualization really stand out. So that's one of the things that we are going to see here in these couple of videos. Now, a data visualization is a visual representation that's designed for the purpose of conveying the meaning and significance of data and data insights. So it is a visual representation that allows you to communicate the meaning and purpose of your data to other people. And because they are designed for different audiences, it's not just one type of audience. The audience is varied, and because of that, you require different techniques to understand your audience and how to do data visualization specific to your audience. So those are the things in particular that we will be seeing here. And audiences, of course, come in all shapes and forms and sizes. You could be designing something for some young and edgy readers of, the Rolling Stone magazine, or you could be designing something for, a scientific purpose to a research group. So both the audiences are different, and they would prefer the design to be of a different kind. So you cannot present the same thing that you're presenting to Rolling Stone magazine to also a scientific community. And it is also possible that your audience is comprised of board members and organizational decision makers, or perhaps you're designing something to stir up a ruckus with members of a local grassroots organization. So it depends on what your needs are when it comes to data visualization, and then it will help you to decide what exactly you should do. And since each audience will be comprised of a unique class of consumers, each with their unique data visualization needs, it's essential to clarify for whom you are designing. And now you'll get to know the main types of data visualizations that are available, and you'll understand which one to pick for yourself based on your audience's needs. So the first type is data storytelling for decision making. So sometimes you have to design data visualizations for a less technical audience, perhaps in order to help members of this audience make better informed business decisions. So data storytelling is the type of data visualization that is used when you want to perform some decision making and you want to show the data, showcase the data that you have found and analyzed. So this is the type that you would be using in businesses to tell what the data is all about. And this is where you want to tell the story behind the data. You want to tell the audience the story behind your data, and that's why you'll be using data storytelling. So it's usually for a less technical audience, so you don't want to complicate it with too many graphs that people cannot read. And here the audience depends on you to make sense of the data behind the visualization and then turn useful insights into visual stories that they can understand. So when you are presenting something in the form of data storytelling, you are actually the people actually depend on you to tell it to them how that data is working, actually what the story is behind that data. So they cannot probably see the things that you have presented and make deductions on their own. So that is data storytelling. And here your goal should be to create a clutter-free, highly focused visualization so that members of your audience can quickly extract meaning without much effort. So it could be as simple as creating a small pie chart or something that people can see and directly understand what it's all about. So they are best delivered in the form of static images, but more adept decision makers may prefer to have an interactive dashboard that they can use to do a bit of exploration and what if modeling. So some people do want interactive dashboards designed for them, and that's what we'll be seeing much later in much later videos. But for now, you just need to know that dashboards contain all kinds of depictions of your data, and you can just give that to someone and they can play with it and understand how the data is working. But usually in data storytelling, people want static images that they can just look at and with one glance they can say what it's all about. Now, data showcasing for analysts. This is the second type of data visualization, where if you're designing for a crowd of logical, calculative analysts, you can create data visualizations that are rather open-ended. And the purpose of this type of visualization is to help audience members visually explore the data and draw their own conclusions. So data showcasing is more about allowing the audience to make conclusions, not that you have to make conclusions and give it to them. So you are creating a visualization, but you're also leaving it up to the audience to make analysis and draw conclusions. When using data showcasing techniques, your goal should be to display a lot of contextual information that supports your audience members in making their own interpretations. So in data showcasing, what needs to be done is you need to display a lot of contextual information so that audience can make their own interpretations. So you don't want to leave anything out, but to rather depict everything in the form of either a graph or whatever other, maybe create a really elaborate dashboard for this. So all these things are necessary when you want to do data showcasing for analysts. Now, these visualizations should include more contextual data and less conclusive focus. So people can get in there, analyze the data for themselves, and draw their own conclusions. So in data showcasing, you do not want people to just get the conclusion from what you have visualized. You want the people to draw conclusions from your data. And so these visuals are best delivered as static images or dynamic interactive dashboards. And like I said, you'll be seeing dashboards later on in much later videos. Now, the third third type of visualization is designing data art for activists. So you could be designing for an audience of idealists, dreamers, and change makers. And when designing for this type of audience, you want your data visualization to make a point. And you can assume that your typical audience member isn't that analytical, just very much like data storytelling. But what these people lack in math skills, however, they more than compensate for in solid convictions, obviously because they are activists. So for these kind of people, you want your data to be not very analytical, but to actually stand out and to make a point. And these people, they look to your data visualization as a vehicle by which to make a statement. They want to make a statement. So maybe something showing something drastic, maybe some outliers. Those outliers in your data might actually make a statement for such people. So when designing for this type of audience, data art is the way to go. You want to create a very artistic data, not just data that is a simple pie chart or a bar graph. And the main goal in data art is to entertain, to provoke, to annoy, or to do whatever it takes to make a loud and clear, attention demanding statement. And data art has little to no narrative and doesn't offer room for viewers to form their own interpretations. So data art is very specific. And when you create data art, you want your users to, take away the message that you are trying to give and not draw their own conclusions or make their own interpretations. So that is what happens. That is the third type of data visualization. Now, it's important to emphasize here that data scientists have an ethical responsibility to always represent data accurately. And as a data scientist, you should never distort the message of the data to fit what the audience wants to hear, not even for data art. So even though you're designing for data art, you cannot, um, have any discrepancies in the way you are displaying your data, because, like it says, that you, as a data scientist, you have some ethical or moral responsibility towards representing data. If you have a data set, you're analyzing it, you are morally obliged, or rather morally responsible for providing a visualization that is completely, that completely gives you the true picture of what your data is like and what your data displays. So you should not in any way distort the meaning of the data, despite being a data artist, or despite creating a data visualization for data artists. Non-technical audiences won't even know what the possible issues are, let alone be able to see them. And they rely on the data scientist to provide honest and accurate representations, thus amplifying the level of ethical responsibility that the data scientist must assume. So as a data scientist, your responsibility is amplified or doubled when you are creating data art, because then your audiences do not know anything about analytics, and so they depend totally on you to portray a clear picture and a true picture, a correct picture of the data. So with this, I'm going to conclude this video, but in the next couple of videos, we are going to look a little bit deeper into this type of data visualization process. We are going to see different types of graphs that are available, different types of uh, ways in which you can design your data, in which you can visualize your data and present it to your audiences. So I'll see you in the next video, and thank you for watching.